Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a pleasure to follow the Honourable Member for South Shields, who is a fellow patron of the women's veterans charity Salute Her, part of Forward Assist, and the only other female that sits with me on the Defence Select Committee. So in consideration of new Clause 1, I'd like to remind the House why this bill is necessary. Because the government of the day sent the British military into operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, and for over a decade after, these troops were hounded by lawyers, chasing the money and putting our troops through hell once again. So prolific was this hunt, it was given a name lawfare, and it is this lawfare we seek to address. Over the past few months, I've spoken to a significant number of serving personnel and veterans about this bill. And what sticks in my mind are 5 soldiers who specifically told me about their experiences of being investigated through Operation Northmoor and the Iraq Historic Allegations Team. All were vexatious claims, and 4 left the service as a direct consequence of their treatment, exemplary soldiers all feeling let down and betrayed. All 5 believe this bill would have protected them in some form, and they all welcome its introduction. Retention is a big challenge for the military, especially the Army. In the British military, we train soldiers to the highest standard. Their professionalism and capabilities are renowned across the globe. But the military is a bottom-up organisation. You can't enter the Army as a regimental sergeant major. Promotion comes from within the ranks. We have lost many to this lawfare, and even worse is the feeling that service personnel and veterans are not valued. There have been over 4,000 lawfare compensation claims made against personnel, and only 1 went to prosecution. So just think about that litigious process and what it did to the remaining 3,999 people's mental health, well-being and the impact on their families, and it was allowed to happen. Now, opponents of this bill suggest it protects soldiers from prosecution against war crimes and crimes against humanity, and I support the comments made by the honourable friends from Filton and Bradley Stoke and Beckenham regarding the Geneva Convention. This bill offers no such protection. The service personnel I have spoken to are unanimously affronted by the suggestion that they want and would be protected by such act. They find the mention of blanket immunity abhorrent. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I cannot miss out the opportunity to mention Northern Ireland. More service personnel died in those troubles than Iraq and Afghanistan put together. And I have already received ministerial assurances, but I do urge the Secretary of State of Defence in Northern Ireland to expedite this provision for those veterans who served.
Can I thank the Honourable for giving way? And this brings up a very pertinent point. Obviously, there is protection within the bill that's coming forward, but there doesn't seem to be the same protection for those soldiers who served in Operation Banner, the greatest operation in British history. Does the Honourable Lady feel that that should be extended to every soldier who served in Northern Ireland under Operation Banner to have the same protection as they will have if they served in Afghanistan or Iraq?
I thank the Honourable Member for his intervention, and I'm just about to say they too should be afforded the level of certainty that the unique operational pressures placed upon them will be taken into account. Prosecution decisions are made concerning alleged historic offences, and I understand there will be some debate in this House over that matter. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I have spent the past few weeks scrutinising this bill line by line on the Public Bill Committee, along with a number of members of this House. Is this bill perfect? No, it's not. But it's infinitely better than where we are now. No bill or act will ever suit all people in all circumstances. But which group would object to this bill the most? The group that would lose out the most, the unscrupulous human rights lawyers. Service charities welcome this bill, but I acknowledge they have some reservations. But every service personnel and veteran who wants to be and should be supported by the government, their politicians and their people. After all, they are prepared to and do put their lives at risk for us. And this is the duty of care these service personnel want. And this bill goes some way in offering that support. And I welcome